Welcome. Hello. Happy to be here. We have no attendees just yet, so I would skip forward a couple of minutes. We'll probably get started in about 3 minutes if you're watching on YouTube. Um, I'm currently talking into the ether, so no one can hear me. But if you're watching on YouTube, give it about 3 minutes. Somebody will be in here, and we can chat. Hello. Hey, welcome, Alex. I got your question. We'll start with yours. Thank you for joining. We'll probably get started here in about, I don't know, 2 minutes maybe. Just give people kind of a moment to file in, get their headset situated and all that stuff. But Alex, we will start with your pre-submitted question. Questions, plural, I guess. So we'll start there. All right. And for everybody that's just joining right now, we're going to get started here maybe about 60 seconds or so. So if you have a question, feel free to hit the chat, the QA, however you want to do it. I do know we have a pre-submitted question from Alex. We'll start there. But if you have a question, well, let me know. And we will get started here in just a few moments. All right. I am here. I am Robert. I am ready to get started. Oh, I didn't even have my name here. Apologies, everybody. So my name will officially show up on the little line at the bottom there. Love it. Cool. So, Alex, I have your questions. I'm 100%, well, not 100. I'm 95% sure I know your first question, how to get there pretty quickly. The second question I do want some clarity on, the one around drafts. So, I'll allow you to talk. I'll read the question out loud for the people in the YouTube universe or in the just sitting in this lobby universe. Um, just so everyone's kind of on the same page, and we'll just do one question at a time, and then we'll do the second one. So, the first question we got was, I have a CSV file that I pulled from an email attachment, and I'm wondering the best way to cycle through it and populate a local data type. Um, is that pretty straightforward? I mean, that you were pretty descriptive there. You have an email, CSV, and you just want to store that data in decisions, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, you're gonna have a number of options. One thing I'm gonna go ahead and put in the chat for you, that can be helpful, just because I do a couple versions of this. I made this. Let's see, when did I make this? 1 month ago today. I'll put this in the chat for everybody. Boom. I did make this, so I'll just this is gonna kind of like just so you can follow up with it later. I was gonna recommend doing something in this world, this CSV to object mapping. I made a video here with a couple different use cases, and including a whole section here on saving data into decisions. You do have a handful of options here, and it really depends on what your kind of middle goal with that data is. Like if you want, basically, if you want to do stuff with that data before it gets saved to the database, then yeah, you would want to probably loop through it. But if you wanted to just, hey, I want to import this exactly as it is into a decisions database, you can do it all with one big save entity step. And there's an option on there right around, where is it? There's an option on there to save multiple entities. And I will build that out here in a second, but there it is right there on the screen, save multiple entities. But that's basically what you wanted to do, right? Is you wanted to map in from a CSV.
Yep.
All right, man. Cool. So I actually have some, I should still have, might take me a small moment to pull up. I wish I still had that flow, but I don't, but I can just build it from scratch. No problem at all. We're going to call this CSV. See, here it's even auto-populating from when I had that project. Give me one moment to find that CSV so we can talk about it from that lens. I think I called it shoe or something. Nope, I did not call it shoe. Maybe footwear. Nope.
So Gregory, just unfortunately, there is a possibility that someone is going to bang on my door. And means I would have to leave, but
Yeah,
I will always be able to, pick up the video off of YouTube after. Is that correct?
yeah, 100%. Yeah. So I can actually even email this. Let me write this down. I'll email it to you as well so you don't lose it.
Oh, that'd be
But
great.
it's basically does exactly what you're talking about. If you're in a crunch for time, let's just so we can get you some answers, no matter what. Let's go ahead and talk about the second question, so maybe we can hit two birds with one stone.
Sure.
You walk out here with two solutions instead of one really developed one. The second question was related to common practice for saving a running form as a draft, is to create an assignment. Wondering how this works. I was talking with Gregory a moment ago. What is your kind of end goal with that? Like, you want a user to be able to a form pop up to a user and for them to be able to save it and then come back and fill it out later, or are you talking about like while it's building? Like, what do you
No,
what
that's
is?
exactly that's the case, right? The first one.
Okay.
They start a flow, they get halfway through a form, they get called away, they don't have all the information, whatever, they click the draft button. And so again, this is I built this out in a number of flows, and it seems to be working somewhat. But my the thing that I wanted to accomplish is to find out why it works, kind of thing.
Hmm.
And sometimes certain things don't work, and I was wondering what is the mechanism behind this thing working. So I
Yeah.
mean, I have a flow. It basically has a show form step on it, and then it's got three buttons like OK, cancel, and draft. And when you click the draft button, leaves the uh, it leaves the form
Hmm.
that it's on, and it basically goes to an assignment step. And
Via an active form flow or via a sub dialog box,
no,
or is it an
so
outcome path? It's probably an
it's an
outcome
out.
path.
So yeah, so the original form has an as the outcome path of draft,
Hmm.
and it comes out, and it basically just it goes to an assignment in which the form that they just came off of is the form that is in the assignment. So, but I'm just unclear as how decisions goes about knowing what the user had on the form to begin with, and why in some instances it seems to be able to figure that out all on its own, and in other
Hmm.
instances it has difficulty saving the data between one form and the other.
Yeah. My guess is, let's make this required real fast. My guess is as long as you have those naming conventions, and I'm not sure fully on the build paradigm here, and I know I was just talking with Gregory, and he might have some. Gregory, feel free to. I'm going to keep driving, but feel free to poke in if I'm saying the wrong thing here. Um, Task, I believe they call it. Add task. Is that what you're doing? An add task step?
I think it's an assignment. Let me just go into this thing here and find out
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, maybe a sign.
flows. I'll get you the step information in a second. Um, this guy here. Okay. So the second form is properties, step information, assign form step.
Yeah, so it's called add task in the toolbox here.
Okay.
Yeah. So my guess is, and again, I'm not the best with this, but um, so my guess is with the discrepancies on what does and doesn't get populated. is something along this. So if I do name, and let's call this one location just for named variables, right? On name here, I have this data passing down the save as draft kind of path over here on the left.
Yeah,
Um,
yep,
so if I have this one and I make it not used, when when it goes down this path, it's not going to send that data. So I'd imagine on here, these locations, this is all ignored, right? It comes to here, this picker crate form, we'll pick existing form, I believe. Yeah. You can pre-populate these inputs right here so even on here automatically. See how this says um, outcome path save as draft has name right here for my initial form.
yep.
It auto populates down here when I go to input, like, hey, take that name. Where's my inputs? Apologies. Right here. Take that name and map it out. But if I go for location, I literally can't because on my initial form, I'm not choosing to send that data down that path. So that's the first place I would check. If you know there's consistencies in what is not transferring between the forms, I would check the outcome scenario for those inconsistent areas and say, like, let's say save as draft. And now that I make this optional or required, let's make sure optional works before I say that out loud, but optional or required, now we get it as optional or required for that path.
Okay, I'll check that out.
I would I would make
And
them optional though, because otherwise someone's not going to be able to hit save as draft if
no,
they're not filled out.
that's what I do. Basically,
Yeah.
all the draft ones are everything is optional. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, this is what Gregory recommended as well. Um, and you just map in these, and then now, obviously, this isn't going to work in the correct way. Um, let's just because
No,
I'm,
no, I think like so basically I think yeah, I just have some kind of placeholder step off to the left of the assignment form where I just keep going back and forth until someone eventually hits submit kind of thing.
oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So like I just kind of do a loop to a placeholder off to the left there,
Yeah,
and then they can keep hitting save draft over and over and over again. It'll just keep coming back to the assignment form until finally if someone hits
nice.
submit, then it'll go down the submit path kind of thing.
I mean, to me, that's extremely smart. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Okay, so I sadly I do have to drop, but
Okay, no
I'm
problem.
gonna test this stuff out, and if I do have any follow-up questions, I'll see you Monday.
Yeah, no problem, Alex. Thank you for
Sound good?
joining.
Okay, thank you.
Sounds great. Yeah,
Bye.
you're welcome. All right. Any other questions in the chat? Feel free. I will gladly talk about anything. I am ready to learn myself. So look at me. This placeholder thing, I didn't even think about that. This is, in my opinion, a smart building paradigm. It's kind of a cool option for just looping back on itself. Um, very smart. Um, yeah. Any questions? I'll gladly just kind of poke around and just do some talking and stuff like that. I guess I can build out. If you, and again, if you have questions, please interrupt me. I want to be interrupted. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just for the people that might want to watch this later, and just so I can add it as a tagged chapter on YouTube later, I'm going to finish out that CSV to object mapping basics kind of thing. Um, I have a CSV file that I'm going to want to map in. So again, pick a create form. We're going to create a new one here. Create a new one. We're going to call this CSV upload. And we're just going to put a big old file upload right there. We're going to make it mega, mega big. Just obscenely big. Oh, I hit download file. Dang it. Not what I wanted. File upload. There we go. That's what we wanted. And I probably could have made this a simple form, although don't let anybody hear me saying that. Submit. Boom. So I've got my CSV upload. And the easiest way I think to save it kind of broadly, is CSV to object mapping. You'll pick your structure that you want to um, absorb that data. So I have one on here somewhere. I think it's on the screen right now. I have these fields: brand, vendor number, style, size, quantity, description, ship date, and a flag. Um, what I can do is I can make a structure that has those same fields. I do believe I can even, let's do some learning together. I think I might be able to straight up make the structure from a CSV. Is that an option? Create types from CSV. Wouldn't that be amazing if that actually worked? CSV structure name, CSV to object shoe structure. First row is field names. Do you know that? I have never done this before, so we're going to learn it together. Can I just straight up copy this like that? That'd be insane. No, there's no chance that's right. No chance that's right. Well, until we get questions, you know what? I'm gonna do some learning. CSV, creating a CSV structure. I love that. How do I paste it in? What is the formatting it's got to be in? Let's see if there's an option for file. That'd be nice. I don't want to paste anything. Ooh, let's go. All right, now it's gotta ignore all my background stuff. What is the name of this file? CSV file for demo. Wow, great naming convention. But I might just save this to my desktop. It's comma delimited. We're gonna save to this PC under. I have no idea where this is trying to save to. I'll save it to my OneDrive. Hopefully that will work. Wow. I love that. I love that so much. Um, wow. So, yeah, we took that CSV. We made a structure out of it. We're learning here. We're lunching and we're learning. I can go back to my flow. And now that I've done that, I should be able to find my, let's go ahead and map this in. Oh, maybe not. Why are we not getting data there? Oh, because we didn't name that file. Almost certainly correct. CSV file. And now it will give us that name. Almost certainly that. Yep. The output type here is, what did I call it? Did I just call it CSV? CSV to object shoe. Yep, that is it. CSV to object shoe structure. Input file type is a CSV. It's comma delimited. We are ignoring the first line because it has all the headers on it. You'll then go into show item mapping editor. You can take the inputs and map those fields to here. So I know, hopefully you can see the CSV. It's a brand in order, brand, vendor number, style, size, all that stuff. So I'll put this on another monitor and I'll start dragging this over. Field one, brand, field two, vendor number. And I guess the perk of me doing it this way is these kind of all match up loosely. Style, size. I'm gonna fix all these broken ones. Quantity is still field five. Field six is description. Oh yeah, these are gonna be great. So you're like, okay, you're looking at this. I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking, okay, what's up with these validation errors, right? Selected path is not valid. Why is that? The reason is data types that it's trying to cast into, it doesn't exactly know how this field is kind of populating that data. So when you get in situations like that, you say, okay, this is a decimal. If I open up in this field O2, you can take something like number value for it. Boom, right there. And kind of keep working your way down here. Again, this is size. Probably shouldn't be a decimal. Well, I guess they make half sizes, so it should be a decimal. I'm wrong. Number value, it's kind of working our way this way. Quantity, decimal, you're not going to get a half of a shoe, so that probably should have been an integer. Oversight on my part. But hey, number value, decimal into quantity. Ship date is a date time, right? So down here we can go field 7, the date value as date time. And then what I would recommend is if you just want to save them all in one big kind of foul swoop, save entities. Easy. And then you can say, what type name do you want to save? You can say CSV to shoe order, CSV to something like that, CSV, something about shoe. Hmm. You're going to want to turn on save multiple entities, and you should be able to save into that. I'm not sure of the actual type that I made with that data structure and whether I can even save it, which is a good question, which we will find out the answer to right now. So if I just do CSV to structure, is that what it was called? To CSV data structure. So maybe that isn't what we want. Maybe that is not what we want. Gregory, are you sure? Are you familiar with what a CSV structure is? CSV data structure?
I'm not 100% sure on that, admittedly. I'm wondering if this is a product of V9 or if has to do with the of that particular structure. I feel like something like this has come up before
Mm. Create a data structure by upload and paste. It generates a table in the database.
upon creation. Oh, so we might be able to go to user-defined types in the flow. Maybe there's a step for it there.
Let's see, man. Let's see. And on an actual use case, you're going to have your own structure. So in an effort to take a shortcut, I took a long cut, which is the tail as old as time. But we'll figure it out here. So, oh, there's CSV data structures. No, I'm only given serialization steps, it looks like.
Interesting. I don't
So,
think to actually save it. Hmm.
yeah. And this is something I could troubleshoot, but in the spirit of getting solutions, I'm going to find the path of least resistance, which is for me to make the world's fastest data structure because I didn't like getting the decimal anyways. I didn't like having a decimal for the quantity of shoes. You're never going to have 7 3/4 shoes. So we're just going to straight up get rid of this, although it might not let me. I might have some dependencies issues while it's trying to delete. Yeah, clicked on delete. I'm going to make a simple database structure because I can. Shoe, orders, and I can type pretty quick here. So we're going to go brand. We're going to go vendor number. We're just going to do one more here. Size. And we'll actually do quantity as well just to fix our wrongs. Quantity, integer. Vendor number is a string. Brand. Okay. I love it. Cool. Back to where we were. Ooh, code compiled. Gotta fix this. This is gonna be broken for sure. Shoe orders. Now, I gotta look here. We built data there. So on field 1 was brand. Field 2 was vendor number. Field 3, or sorry, let's go back this way. Quantity is field 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Quantity is field 5. And then size is field 4. Both these have problems, so we will fix them. Number value for that. and then quantity, field 5, number value to quantity. Now that we have this, we're still going to ignore the first line. We're going to save these entities. And what type of entities are we going to save? Something we can actually search for. That's shoe orders. Which entities do we want to save? Multiple entities. Notice when I turn this off, it just goes to a single, although I put plural, it's a single shoe orders. Um, or we can have a list. We'll save multiple. We're going to save all those things. And that is the path of least resistance to get a CSV into a save entities. I'm sure that there's probably other steps you could do as well to, like with this. I could have probably just done this, save myself time on making a form, right? The more building I do, the more I'm thinking like, I don't even need a form. I just made it a constant and mapped it in. But I like the flexibility and scalability of having a form so that you can use this month after month, day after day, that kind of world. So ideally, if I run this right, and I select a file here, I put it in my OneDrive, which is a bit of a nightmare. I might get a validation issue. I did. We can figure out why. Um, Object mapping, not set to the reference of an instance at what line? Does it give me a line? Object reference not sent to the instance of an object. Super informative. It's a CSV file, comma delimited, right? I believe so. Ignore the first line. I believe so. Oh, it's because I left this on constant. And I didn't go back to select from flow. That is at least, at the very bare minimum, part of the problem. Ah, love that. So now I should be able to go and make a report and look at that data or fetch entities, either or. Shoe data. Come on. Love to see it, huh? Love to see it. So, yeah, I guess the path of true least resistance would have been to make a CSV to object mapping constant and then just use save multiple entities. So you can get it done in 2 steps. There you go. Cool. What other questions? Anybody got it? Anybody got anything at all? Or do they just want to give me a puzz? We can do general trivia as well. We can just talk about Nobel Prize winners or something. Um, Let me think about what is cool that I've been toying with in decisions here. What have I been breaking and what have I been fixing? Well, here's an interesting one, I think. Um, Here's an interesting one. So yeah, I see this folder count flow. You might not have seen this icon before. Crazy looking icon. It's a type of flow. So we have these flows called a folder count flow. And it just allows you to really easily um, will count any folder's contents and then display its total as a label next to the folder's name in the folder tree. So this is the mechanism that works behind the inbox. When you get an inbox assignment or something like that, you'll have a little happy little one right there. This is the mechanism that will do it. So let's see if we can figure this out, man. What do we have that has some stuff in it? Flows has some stuff in it. So we're going to create a flow that is I think it's on this one. Yep. It is a folder count flow, folder count flow for flows, folder count flow for flows. And I believe it's just over here in properties. I don't even think you have to do any math. I think you can do math, but I believe you can just go like this and say, um, flows, close it off. And then on here, you can say the folder count is, let's look. I made a video on this, kind of, on Friday. So I'll just go back and look right in here. Because that functionality has changed in version 9, which is why, or 9.4, apologies. So let's see if we can find that flow. So that's how you can remake it if you want it. Let's click this red end step here if I can. Assignment count for user. So we got to find a way to find that mathematics. Prior count? Why not? See what it does. Oh, look at that thing. It says 0 though, but we're getting there. You know what I mean? It's getting exciting around here. So we know that that at least loosely can work. We just got to figure out how to correctly populate that. Um, would it be like a something like a folder data service type thing? Integration, internal services, call internal, some like folder maybe in the folder world, folder service. Uh, maybe get all entities. That's even get. Is there a count before I get even into the C? Let's try get all entities. Get entities for folder. Will this work? This is the kind of thing I can get the folder ID for.
Right there. It's under other.
Mm, under other.
Get designer folder ID. It's not like a sub step. It's just straight up a step there. Or sorry, action.
Oh, yeah, cool. Thanks, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yep, I wasn't expecting it there.
Yeah, let's try, man. Who knows? You know, we're out here trying to learn something. That doesn't look right. Default flows? That don't look right to me. We're gonna go with it. Still nothing though. We want all the entities that are in here. Hmm. Oh, I don't think I actually mapped that into the end step. What's the name of this output? Get entities for folder output. Get entities for folder output. Again, I don't think we're in the right world here.
Do we have to run the flow instead of refresh, or does it automatically do it?
It should automatically do it.
Hmm.
Because that's how the inbox one works. I mean, I'll gladly
Uh,
run it, dude. Let's run
no,
this thing.
I have no
Oh,
idea. I'm just, oh, well,
well, hey, see, even in that, it gave us information. I just don't think this is right. There's got to be like a get count or something. Well, here's what we can do, I think. Honestly, the path of least resistance here is this.
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Say folder, right?
Yeah. Send in a filter and then
Folder with a folder ID or something, entity
parent
folder.
folder ID, maybe? Right, because we want all the ones inside of it, like so parent folder ID, maybe?
Wouldn't we want to fetch the entities where the entity, if you DC parent folder ID? I don't see that.
Um,
A, B,
I
C, D, E, F.
don't actually. I do not see it. Hmm.
Let's just try folder ID equals, oh, well, it's a built-in.
Interesting.
Let's just try your method first, man.
Oh, cool. We just get to pick. That's awesome.
Entity results.count. If this works, I'm gonna be a happy clam. If it doesn't work, I'll still be happy as can be. Let's just go ahead and, for the love of it, making sure we're getting some data here.
Okay.
That's a little too much stuff, though, I think. Mm. And then another thing you got to make sure is all this is all set up. Uh, on timer. Oh, it's set up to go every 2 minutes. Let's just do this like every 5 seconds, and then I'll delete this as soon as I'm done. Yeah. Maintain count by user, flows for folder. I think I'm feeling pretty good about this solution. Still nothing. Oh, and I noticed more people are joining. So if you got questions, feel free to let me know. We're just playing around with folder counts, trying to get some folders counted. Um, so that gives us this entity results. We're getting the count here. So it's got to be something in this properties panel. I'm not. Why won't you update? Trying to check boxes here. We're just swinging for the fences these days. That ain't it either. All right, folder count, entity results, property, for folder. See, it's even given us 10. I don't like that because there's definitely not 10 things in there. So let's add this fetch criteria where the folder ID. Did it auto populate that?
It did, and I don't know where that came from.
Hey, folder count 1. That is true. There is a folder. I don't know. And I'm still just like I said, anybody's got questions, feel free, interrupt me. I'm just having fun building while me and Gregory over here just having the time of our lives. Um, I think part of this is I also just don't necessarily understand if we are getting the right answer here. So let's go to some what we call known good troubleshooting in the tech world. Put a 4 in there. So okay, so that's part of the issue. Is if I put a constant of 4 and it's not updating, we know we got some problems here. Um, let's do properties. About to break my machine right now. Uh-oh. Chat's going crazy. Can you run global debugger and see if the flood runs? Yeah, I can. I can do anything, man. I can't do anything. That's not true. I can do that. That is for sure. You talking about on the 1 second timer? Nope. It is not running on that 1 second timer. So that is another good, insightful. All right, so this is not running for some reason. Oh, I know y'all see that. 4. So we're at least getting the constant. Oh, what the? It was working for a millisecond. We had it. We totally had it. We totally had it for a minute. On folder change, it refreshes.
What happens if we click on the rules? Not refresh it, but just click on the rules folder. Does it?
Mm.
Okay, so that's the folder change. It's causing it to refresh.
And I wonder if this 10 comes from hidden included, so I might have to put a filter
Ah,
criteria on there. I always forget which one of these it is.
folder view, top right.
That's what it is. Yeah.
There we go. Now you got it.
Well, there's more than 10 on there though.
Well, we have hidden and deleted in here, right?
Mm.
Or is that,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, maybe just hidden, and that may show what
But
we're
I think
looking.
that's a good. I think we're good. Conceptually, y'all can maybe you know, let's go back, I guess. Why not? Let's just do one more, see if we can fix on there. Entity results dot count. How can we parse this down better to say, let's add a fetch criteria where hidden equals, I'm trying to think of the inverse of this. So if it is hidden, we'd want it to be checked. No, because we only want to find things where that are not hidden, so we'd want to leave it unchecked, I think. All this inverse of an inverse stuff never does well in my brain. And one thing I do wonder is, okay, so that's a 10. It's going to take some troubleshooting, but essentially, yeah, and VT might be, Vitalia, you might be right about that. Hidden equals, who knows? Yeah, he said it's cached badly in browser, so it might be one of those things like he's saying. Maybe it works better in the standalone app as well. So now we're down up to 9. Yeah, it's just kind of clunky at the moment, but it's still cool, relatively cool functionality. I wonder if I can put a word in there, and if I can or can't. I think that might be the last thing for the day, unless someone's got a question. It's got to be an integer. It'd be cool if I could just put a word in there, like a tag. Hmm. Oh well. Well, we ran 43 minutes. If anybody's got a question, feel free to let me know. If not, we'll probably just end up kind of calling it so I can get that YouTube video sent out to Alex from earlier and get this thing posted. We still talked about quite a bit. We talked about forms, saving data, saving drafts. We talked about CSV to object mapping, saving multiple entities. We talked about folder count flows, just lots of stuff. So, all right, we did 45 minutes essentially. So, thank you guys for joining. We will see you guys next week. I appreciate all of you for joining. I learned something. Hopefully, you did too. Have a good rest of your day.